Guy, it's hump day. I know you love that term. And so, on hump day, AKA Wednesday, this is album day. This is breakout album day or break up album day. So give me that album that basically took a band to the next echelon, or in fact took them back and almost derailed the entire career, and obviously dropped that into a market context for me.
Wow, that's heavy stuff on a Wednesday. I don't
That's
use
what we
the term
do.
hump
That's
day
what we do.
because I just don't do that. Okay, but here you go. I'm going to throw this at you. Now, I'm not suggesting I'm a fan. I'm not. But the Grateful Dead were a very specific band for a very long period
Love
of
'em.
time. And then in the early 1980s, I think it was 82 or 83, they released Shakedown Street, which was an abomination on a number of different levels. They got so far away from their knitting that even I find myself saying,
Can I stop you for 1 second?
No.
What's an abomination is this album came out, I think, in late 1978. And I'm a huge Dead fan. Okay, just to be clear, I've been to over 100 shows, and Shakedown is not one of my favorite Dead albums, but there's a place in there for it. And this is one of the great overrated, underrated albums. Keep going.
Yeah, well, we'll agree to disagree there. I say they got away from their core competency, and I compare it to a Chipotle Mexican grill, a CMG.
Really?
Was
Okay.
all the rage for many, many years. Then they obviously had that problem with, food poisoning, tainted lettuce, whatever you want to say. But the problem wasn't that that's going to happen. But then it became self-inflicted. They didn't deal with it, and they got away from their knitting, got away from their core competency. The good news is for both the Grateful Dead and CMG is they were both able to reestablish terra firma at a certain point. So I would give you Shakedown Street.
I like what you did there. And would you? So is your point now that is CMG fully out of their food taint scandal?
It appears that way. Listen, I am not privy to the next bad piece of lettuce out there, but with that said, they seem
hate
to
to
have
be
figured
nearby.
it out. So yes.
Okay. And by the way, you talk about burritos and the food crisis and kind of what some of that food might have done to people. We don't know for sure. Reminds me of school lunches really quickly. Did you bring your lunch to school? Back in the day, I'm talking like high school cafeteria.
Yes, some semblance of a lunch.
You brought your lunch, and did you write your name on? Like, did your mom write your name on the outside of the bag? Like,
my father would write our names only because there were 5 of us or 4 of us at a certain, just so we knew whose bag was whose.
Because I think about, and I'm sorry to go on, but like the food they were serving in the cafeteria in high school was not just mystery meat, but I mean like that sloppy Joe. Like who was ordering that sloppy Joe? And really you weren't left with a lot of options. But I got to tell you, I was way too cool to bring the brown bag to high school. Just to be clear.
Just without getting into great detail, sloppy Joe took on an entirely different meaning for me ex post facto. But again,
all right. And the last thing I'll say, one of the strangest things about like eating food in the cafeteria in high school was like you'd be eating a piece of pizza and some dude would come up to you, one of your buddies, be like, hey, can I get a bite of that? Like, no, but like your food somehow was open game for everybody. All right, let me keep moving. All right, so my breakout album is actually not far away correctly in chronology from Shakedown Street. I'm going to go London Calling by The Clash, which was, effectively, I think it was their 3rd album, maybe their 4th album, if you count an EP that they had come out. And this is a band that was one of the great punk rock bands, certainly evolved out of the scene in the UK. But London Calling is one of the great albums and showed the versatility of the band. In fact, Mick Jones and some of the stuff that he was doing in that, arguably one of my top 10. And I'm going to now compare what that album meant to The Clash to Weight Watchers getting into wellness. So again, if you think about Weight Watchers, who's gone from just being, when you're watching your weight at home, Guy, I'm sure you've been ordering those shakes. Now it's a wellness play, which means you go from a $18 billion addressable market to a $300 to $400 billion wellness market, depending on how you look at this. It's the same thing that The Clash did. The Clash, look, as a punk band, if I like the Pistols, I like The Clash, but London Calling appealed to everybody across the spectrum. And if it didn't, you should go listen to that, because Death or Glory or Coca-Cola or, Not Just London Calling are great songs. So there you go.
So there's a French word in the English language. It's called imposter, and I would say both the Clash and Weight Watchers are exactly that.
Hold on. Hold on. What? How are the Clash imposters? What does that mean? I still don't really
Rip off
understand.
sand. I mean, I know everybody likes to say the Clash
Rip-
is his favorite. I mean,
Dude.
again, let me just say this. I think it was 1982 in October. I went to see The Who at Shea Stadium with my brother Chris. It was a rainy, I was going to say another one. It was a miserable night.
David
And
Johansen,
got
the
booed off
Clash.
the stage.
Yeah.
And then the Clash got booed off the stage. I'll leave it at that.
Well, look, David Johansen should have been booed off the stage. I think I went to that concert with my brother Chris, and the Clash were better than the Who, and I'm a huge Who fan. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you later.
Bye.